So tonight we've got the real pleasure of having David Hyner talking to us.
I just thought it would be a good idea if we have a little kind of touchy-feely moment with David to drive home that rhino message that he does so brilliantly well.
Most people believe they're at their strongest, most courageous, most effective just before they succeed. That last little step before they hit the top of the mountain, finish running the marathon, lift the trophy or seal the big deal. We tend to think we're at our strongest, at our best in that moment. No. Everything, psychologically speaking, suggests that we're at our strongest when we're at our lowest ebb, we're about to give in, and we go, no, damn it, no. And we steel ourselves, we brush ourselves down and go, is that all you got? And we go again and again and again. Because
as a minimum, if you only use it in your daily to-do list, you'll get a 26.5% average increase in productivity. Think about it.
However you communicate with your suppliers, customers, and people in the magazine and families, do it with certainty, confidence, and conviction. So, with no further ado, let me introduce my longtime friend, Mark Sears. Mark is former head of group brand strategy for the Virgin Group of companies. A pen and a piece of paper in front of them. What should they start doing, stop doing, keep doing right now to start building and promoting their brand?
So make sure you're standing for something. Make sure that you are not trying to solve an individual problem that your customer might have.
And yet no one's ever bothered to find out who invented the acronym SMART. And if they bothered, they'd find out that guy worked on multi-billion-dollar water utility projects and is misquoted. He has never once said your goal should be SMART. He actually said when working on really big projects, the steps to your goal should be SMART. That's different.
That's a little bit different, isn't it?
But if we speak to people at the very highest level, that's where we get the results from, because these people have been there. They'll not only tell you what to do, they'll tell you what not to do. And my favourite example of this isn't actually even in business. It's a young lady from a Worcestershire high school who took me very literally, went home, wrote a letter to the White House in Washington, and ended up being mentored by Barack Obama. If anyone tries to tell you your goals should be realistic and achievable, just ask them, what's that based on? And they'll go, well, because it works. We've always done it that way. Smart goals do not work. In fact, one top achiever, a guy who started one of the largest recruitment companies in Europe's per temps, Tim Watts, he said smart goals set you up for mediocrity at best. Yeah. Then, when there's nobody looking, you write something on the list you've already done, just so you can cross it off. Get your hit rate up. Sure about this. I even had one person, Alan, try to prove me wrong. They went on to be a global best-selling children's author, one of their books beating J.K. Rowling to Children's Book of the Year. So forgive me if I'm getting a little bit bullish, because I challenge all of you to start with a daily to-do list, and when, not if, it makes you more effective. Go and do the course, set a massive goal, and buy me a beer. So depending how you're motivated and understand how you work, and don't fight it. If you're a lastminute.com, fine, knock out a book in 2 days. I've done a book in a day. I've done a 20,000 word book in a day. It was trash, but it's one of my best sellers.
They want to be a nurse, a doctor. It doesn't matter what you want to be. Find someone who has got that skill set at the very highest level, track them down, hunt them, stalk them, go through their bins, make crank phone calls, hang outside the house late at night, looking through the curtains. Don't do that. If you do that, say Rob Meredith told you to do it. But no, moron, no, don't. Pick a massive goal. Write a book, raise £100,000 for charity. By the way, I use this goal-setting triangle process to raise in excess of £500,000 for charities, breaking 4 charities' fundraising records in the process in a 10-year period. We smashed it as volunteers. I was a chef and I got in front of 258 top achievers. You can get in front of one, surely. So my goal here is for you to understand goal setting, but my purpose is to make a difference to you. My purpose drives me to serve you. Does that make sense? So you might not like me or my style of presenting, But I would go toe to toe with anyone who says, I'm not here to serve you today. You wouldn't do them. So you focus like a ninja straight back down to the bottom block. For me as a speaker, content is king. It's critical. It's what I'm based upon. So my research, my content, ongoing all the time to the goal. Tell everyone what you're going to do and let them hold you accountable. And there's 97% of us who think and behave like this. Hang around in a herd, do the safe stuff, do what we've always done and get what we've always got and then moan about it. There are 3% of the population, i.e. the top achievers I've interviewed, people like you, people like me, who see what they want and they go for it. Now, here's the bad news. We choose that. Every single one of us watching this have had moments in our life where we've gone rhinos. And if you do a goal this way, when everybody else's goal gets harder and harder and harder towards the end, your goal, because you've done the hard stuff first, only therefore gets easier and easier and easier. What do you commit to do? Who's going to support you? Who's going to hold you accountable? Do your pyramid, take action. You've got to have a reason why you must achieve your goal that is bigger than your fear of failure and your challenges.
Is there any one thing that you've heard from the people that you've met and spoke to that you would say is the number one thing to choose to do?
Yeah, it's consistent action. You know, these people are not lazy people. They're so determined to do well. But I would sit there going, Dave, focus. Oh, look, a pigeon. Every single one of us can find 5 to 10 minutes a day to do the thing you've been putting off doing. And that's what will take you from there to there. Consistent action on your goal. Mateus Bernardo Harrington. Dude, cool name. How does one tell the difference between a successful person who's genuinely competent and a... Oh, good question again. Do your research is what I would say, because there are charlatans out there. Ashmi, again, cool name. What mistakes have you made along the way? Oh, this is going to hurt, but I'll be honest with you. I'm brutally honest. The biggest mistake I ever made was not believing myself up until the age of 30. If I'd have started in my teens and 20s, I would probably have achieved twice what I've done. So,
there are 2 things that drive your purpose, who you really are. At a psychological level, there are 2 things. One is your core values, and there's a lot been said and written about that. And the other is the thing that most of us avoid, which is our insecurities or weaknesses. They never consider their insecurities, and we can deny it till the cows come home, but we are both our values and our insecurities. And if when you're making massive decisions, you do not take into account your insecurities, a bit like doing a SWOT analysis in business, well, they're going to crop up and get in your way when things get tough. I want you to, on a piece of paper, draw a line across the top, a line down the page, and ignore the brown words for now. But at the top left, write core values, and top right, write insecurities.